school bag for nursery section baby. So those are the material that I'm going to use. The lining, I'm just sewing the front side for the school bag. I've cutted it out. But at the end of the video, I'll tell you the measurement that I used. I'll just draw it on a paper so that you'll see the measurement that I used on this. Or can I do it now before I will start? Okay, let me just draft out the pattern that I used here. I think I'll be using a pen and a paper to show you that because I've cut it out already. Okay. So okay, now I'll just use this. Sorry for using this small paper. Assuming that this is the leather that I'm cutting, I'm just want to show you all those pattern that I've drafted out. Then after showing the pattern, then we'll go ahead and sew it. Sorry, I've cutted it out. So that's why I will just use this cardboard paper to show you the measurement that I used here. Okay, the measurement I used on the bag is I used the 12. Okay, that's 12 by 14 inch. That's the whole of the measurement for this is 12 by 14 inch that I used here before I just do all those things here. Then after that, this is assuming this is the 12 by 14 inch leather that I'm using. So assuming this is 12, this side is 12 and this is 14 inch. Okay. So looking at it here now, first thing I did was to measure out 1 inch here. I measured out 1 inch from this side, and I also measured out the same 1 inch straight up here. Then I measured it up. Remember, this from here to here is 1 inch, and from here to here is 1 inch. Okay. Then after that, I measured out again 1.5 inch. Sorry, this pen. Okay. So after that, I measured again 1.5 inch here up again to the end, and I measured another 1.5 inch here up again to the end. Okay, that was the next. Let me show you from those measurements here now. So this is the what I'm talking about. This one is 1 inch and this one is 1.5 inch. So coming here, remaining this one here now. Okay, what I did next was to measure out from here. From here to here is 14 inch. So I measured out getting the middle of it. That's 7 inch. This side now is 7, and this side is 7, and this is 1, and this is 1.5 inch. Sorry, this is 1.5 inch, and the whole of it is 14 by 12 inch. Okay, now after measuring this, the next thing I did was to measure out from this here, from this point. Okay, let me start from the beginning here. No, I will start from the middle so that we understand what I'm saying. Okay, so coming here, the next thing I did was I measured out this here. From here to I measured 5 inch. That's from this point. I measured out 5 inch. Okay, so from this point again to this point, I measured 4 inch. This side is 5 inch and this side is 4 inch. Then from here, I now curved it out. I curved it out this way. Okay, so I curved, I measured also 4 inch here and I measured also 5 inch here. Then from here, I curved it out again. So this is for this one. Here to here is 5 inch, and here is a 4 inch, and here to here is 4 inch again, and here to here is a 5 inch. Then after doing this, the next thing I did was to measure out from here now, from this second side, the second line here. From here, I measured, all those is 7 inch. So coming down, this is the middle. Remember, we got the middle of all of them. Sorry. So this is the middle of all of them for me to cut it out very well. Okay, from the middle up, going up here, I measured from this down here, up here now. From the second line, I measured it here. I got in the, that is a 3 inch here. Okay. Then coming here, coming to this line here, this is 3 inch. Coming to the upper line, this is the line here. This upper line here, I measured that from here. Coming here, I measured 3 inch again. This is 3, and this side is 3 inch. Okay, measuring it out this way now. I now measured out 3 inch again. All of them here, 3 inch, getting another straight line this way. So the upper line here, these are 3 inch. From here to here is 3 inch. Okay, measuring it now. From here that I measured 3 inch, I curved it out this way also. I curved this one here. So this is the curve. Okay, then after covering it out, I come up here again, coming up to this side, the last line here. You know, this is a 1, 2, 3. Okay, for the last line up there, see it, this last line, I measured out from here to here, getting the 7 inch from the middle. You know, this is 14, so I divided it into two. This is 7 inch. So from here to here is 7 inch. Then from here to here, I measured out another 4 inch. Okay. So after measuring out the 4 inch from here to here, now the next thing I did was to curve it out this way also. I curved it out this way. So this is the curve. Then the same thing will apply to all the sides. I will still measure all the measurements here. Then I'll curve it out again here. I'll curve it out, and coming here, I'll also curve this one. Okay, so this is the curve that I will be sewing, and this is the main material that I'll be using. So then coming down to this side at 7 inch, I divided it into two again. So making it 3.5 inch, and this side is 3.5 inch. So 3.5 inch, and this is the half that where I'll add the another zip down here. So we will add another zip down here. So add is the pattern that I'm going to use. So I'll show you, I will explain everything here. I will explain everything on this small paper that I'm using. Sorry, I'm using this paper. I don't even remember that I'm supposed to, draft out the pattern. So that's why I use this paper now. So I hope you have seen what I'm talking about here. I hope you have seen it here. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and join it together with our zip. So forming a spool bag, So let's go ahead and do that after the explanation. So if you did not understand anything, just let me know so that I will go back and explain more on this. Or if I finish sewing this, that's the front pattern for this one now. Then I'll come back and explain more thing on this side. So let's go ahead and join it together. I've added the lining that I'm going to use. This is the lining. I've sewed it together with us. So this is the lining. Seeing the line is like leather, but I'm using it as a lining. Okay, now let's go ahead and join the zip here and the lining and everything on this bag. So thanks so much for watching. Remember, I am Kenichi Ume Ogwajo, the bag making tutor. So if you have any question or anything at all to ask me, I am here. I'm waiting for you to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video also. Thanks so much. So what we're going to do now is to go ahead, and add zip everything. So let's go ahead and do that. So next, the first thing I will do is to add zip on this one. After adding zip, then I will join it together with us. Then I'll join it together with this. Then I'll come back again. We're going to sew the side. Okay, now let's go ahead and do that. I'll keep this by my side here. So the zip that I'm using on those is a red and blue zip. So, okay. So now let's go ahead and start. Yeah. So remember, why sewing is for the new, the bag beginner. What would I call it now? Okay, for those of you, look at it. The good side facing the good side of the zip. For the beginners. Okay, so the good side facing the good side of the zip. Okay, now, so I'll go ahead. I'll sew it now. So let me on the machine. Okay, so sorry, I'll be using it this way. So now I will now sew the side first. I'm using the blue and red zip. Let's see how colorful it will be after sewing the bag. Okay. So after sewing it for the beginners, you fold it this way. You top stitch it this way. Okay. So I will now join this here also. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing here. Okay. Then I'll top stitch it here also here this way. So after sewing it, this is how it will be. Can you see this? So this is how it will be after sewing it. So I'll now go ahead and add the zip head here. So now I will now add the zip head here. Okay. After making it, I'll add the zip head. Okay. Then after adding the zip head, I will now add the lining that I'll be using. Okay, now. So let me go ahead and cut out the lining here. Then after cutting it, I'll sew it with the lining now. Okay, so after adding this the lining here, this is how it will be. So the next thing I will do now is to go ahead, I will now fix on this second word here. This one comes here this way. So I'll now fix on this second one here. So let me go ahead and do that. First of all, before fixing it this way, the first thing I will do is to get the middle of this here. Okay. So I'll get the middle of this. So this is the middle. Then from the middle now, I'll go ahead and sew it here. So after sewing the middle this way, okay, I'll top stitch it on top this way also. So then after that, I'll cut out like 3 inch out here where the zip will stop. I'll use it and cut out the side also. So now after cutting it this way, I will now go ahead and add zip on this side. And I told you that I'll be using the blue and the red zip. Let's see how unique it will be. Then I'll be adding this blue zip here now. So remember that the good side of the zip, facing the good side of the leather this way. Then I'll hold it this way and I'll sew it. Okay, now after adding it, this is how it will be. Then I'll now go ahead and add the zip head that will be here. Okay. Remember, while adding the zip head, try to make the zip head to go one side. Look at the face, where this side will face. So I'll try as much as possible to make sure that their face is facing this at one direction. So I'll be adding it from here. So make sure while sewing your back, you are checking all those things so that the zip will not be on opposite side. It will just be on one line. Okay, so after this, the next thing I will do before sewing it again is to cover this side with the bias. You see, I'll cover this side with the bias so that I will not be seeing the dirty aspect of it after sewing the back. So I will now cover here with the bias. I'll cover it this way here. Okay. So it will be this way here. So I will now use another leather. From here to here now will be 2 inch. So the measurement of the leather that I'm using here is 2 by 4 inch. 2 by 4 inch. So now I'll cover here with this. I'll turn it and fold it this way. Then I'll go ahead and sew it. But first of all, I'll cover here with bias. Try to cover the dead sea side with bias. Okay. So now after sewing it, I will now go ahead and join it here from the middle of here. Then I will get the middle of this side also. Okay, now after adding this way, I will now go ahead and add this one here. So I'll be adding this one here now. Okay, so from the middle of the two, then in the middle of this side, I will notch it more. Okay, so from the middle of the two, so this is the middle, I'll hold the two this way here, then I'll go ahead and sew it. So after sewing this side, I will go ahead and sew this side. Remember while sewing my bag, I like sewing from where I sew the cord so that I'll be seeing the line, this line before sewing it. So I'll sew this side also. So now after sewing it, it will be this way. Can you see how it is? So I'll be using the red and the blue color. So the next color that I'll add now will be the red, because the red is down. So I'll be adding the red color. There's something that I did here that I will do on top of this. But before then, the next thing I will do is to cover here with the lining. So it makes a pocket for the bag. So I'll cover here with the lining now as it is this way. I'll cut out the remaining side this way here. Then I'll cut out this side. Okay, then I will now go ahead and cover it with the lining here. No, I have not cutted out the lining that I'm using here this morning, so I'll cut out the lining here now. So as I'm sewing, I'm cutting out the lining because I don't know the measurement that I'll use. So while sewing the bag is after sewing it, the first side I'll cut the lining, then I will sew another one again, I'll cut the lining. So this is the lining side that I'll use. So I'll cut it from here now. Okay, then I'll go ahead and sew it with this. Okay, then after that, I will just trim it out. All the sides, I'll trim it off. Remember, this bag is for just a nursery section. That's a child of 4 years that will carry this bag. Okay. So this is how it will be after sewing this one. So I will now add cord on this. As I've added cord on this one, I'll go ahead and add cord on this side also. Remember, why adding the cord, I'm not starting from the beginning. I don't start from the beginning, so that while sewing, adding something here, it will not obstruct what I'm doing. So I'll just give like 1 inch here. I'll go give like 1 inch before adding the cord. Just say this one did not start from the beginning, so I'll give like 1 inch. So let me go ahead and add this one here. Okay, now after this, I will now add this one. This is the remaining one that I'll add. So I'll add it here. So it will be this way. So the first thing I will do is to sew the middle as I have done here. I'll add the middle here. So I'll get the middle of this. Remember the good side, facing the good side this way. Just be that one in mind all the time while sewing the back. So it will be this way now. Then I will now go ahead and sew it here. Okay now. So the next thing I will do is to add the zip. But before adding the zip, I'll cut like 3 inch out where the zip will stop here. I'll cut it, then I'll come this side and I cut it also. That's where the zip will stop. And I also add another leather there after sewing the side. Okay, yeah. So I will now go ahead and add zip on this one here. And I'll add in the red zip on this. Okay, so now here, after adding the zip and the bias here, okay, I want to add the zip head. I'll add the zip head here now. I'm adding the double. That's two zip heads. Okay, now I'll go ahead and I'll be adding this here as I did on this one. Then after that, I'll add the bias. So after doing it, I'll top stitch it this way here. Then I'll cut some parts and use it and sew the other side. Then I'll sew this side also. Then I'll cut bias. Okay, then after that, I'll go ahead and add it on this one here. Okay, so from the middle of the zip, I'll notch it small so that I'll see the middle. Then I'll join it on this here from the middle here also. Then I'll sew this side also. So after sewing it, it will be this way. Can you see how it is? So this is how it will be. So see how colorful it is. That's the blue, the red color for the bag. Okay. So it will be this way now. So the next thing I will do on this now is to, I'll cover here with bias first of all. So I'll cover here with bias also. So after adding bias on this way here, so this is how it will be. Then I will now go ahead, I will cover here with a, so I'll add cord here. Sorry, I'll be adding cord here. That's the next thing that I will do. So this color that I'll add here, I'll cover it with bias here. I have the red or blue, I'll use it. So now I will not add it here. So I'll add it here. That's the bias. So this is the bias after adding it here and the cord. So now I'll add the remaining one that will be down. That's the smaller one. I'll be measuring a 2.5 inch by the same length. That is a 12 inch. So now I will now sew it from here. I'll add it here and I'll sew it. So this is how it will be after sewing it. Can you see? So it will be this way. Then the next thing I will do now is to cuff down here. Then I'll cover here with bias. I'll cover it with the lining. Sorry, not bias. I'll cover it with the lining. So I'll just curve it. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. I'll use it. I'll fold it so that I'll make sure that they're equal and curve. Then I'll cut it out. So after cutting it, this is how it will be. So the next thing I will do now is to go ahead and cover this side with the lining. Then after covering it with the lining, then I'll sew the back, the round body and the handle. That will not be on this live video. This is the one I will do on the live video now. So I will cover it with the lining. That will be the last thing we're going to do on the live video today. So now I'll go ahead and cover it with the lining. So I'll be cutting the lining now. So this is the lining that I will use. I'll now be cutting the lining now. Okay. So this is the lining, and I'll go ahead and sew it round with the lining. Okay, so I will now cut it out. So after all this is the result. This is the result. So the next thing I will do is to add cord on this one. So I'll add cord here. So I'll use this to cover the cords. After making out, this is how it will be, and that will be the end for our live video today. Okay, I told you that zip will be one side. Yeah, so this is the back. Is it not fine with the colors that blue, black, and red? So thanks so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. Wait for next day on another pattern drafting for our handbag. This handbag is what we're going to cut. Let me show you. We're going to cut it today. Oh. That'll be on our next live video. That's 2 hours coming now. We're going to cut this one on our live video today. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like also, and hit on notification bell. So each time I upload a new video, you'll be hearing from us and you'll be notified. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.